Hi there, my name is Romero. I am a future educator. We've all been in school at one point or another, and throughout our academic career, we've come across many different educators who possess different qualities and traits. Some teachers were probably known as the mean one, the funny one, the one who probably let you get away with everything, and so on and so forth. This video presentation is going to be about a few dispositions that should be shown in a classroom. I'll be discussing the dispositions that I possess and how I personally will be implementing them in my own future classroom. I'll also be talking about the dispositions that I feel I should probably work on as well. The strongest dispositions that I possess are compassion and advocacy. I believe that these dispositions will make me a successful teacher because they are key elements toward helping me earn respect from my students. Respect is not just automatically given just because you're their teacher. Educators need to earn their students' respect. Students want to be heard and be treated like a human being because they are a human being. As a teacher, I will make sure that my students know that I'm always available to listen to them with no judgment, because being compassionate will help me to be able to empathize with this situation and experiences from home. I'll also make sure that I'm their biggest advocate whenever they need somebody in their corner. Being compassionate and listening to my students will help me to learn more about them and be able to understand their needs in order to advocate on their behalf. I believe teachers should do what's best for the students and not just what's easier for them. Doing these little things are important in earning their respect. When a student respects you and thinks highly of you, they're more willing to learn from you and work for you. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Nobody cares about how much you know until they know how much you care." By being compassionate and advocating for my students, they will without a doubt know that I care about them and their success. The dispositions that I feel I need to work on before entering the classroom are reflection and high expectations. Reflection has always been a little hard for me because I can never do it on my own. I've always needed a reason to do so. A good teacher needs to be able to self-reflect often in order to continue bettering themselves. It's important to reflect after a lesson in order to determine what went well and what needs improvement. Teachers need to understand what needs improvement in order to adjust the instruction for the student's needs. For example, I may need to adjust the strategies or resources being used so that the students can master the subject being taught. Having high expectations is another disposition for me to work on because I would need to find a balance. On one hand, I don't want my expectations too high to where my students are feeling overwhelmed. And on the other hand, I don't want my expectations to be too low to where my students are not reaching their full potential. Finding a balance will be crucial towards setting goals for my classroom, therefore ensuring that my students succeed. Having reasonable and attainable goals will motivate my students to rise to my expectations. And now that I'm actually reflecting on these dispositions that I could improve on, I've come to realize that it's actually the first step towards improving these abilities. And this is a good start towards becoming a better teacher. Professional educators need many different qualities in order to be successful. They need to be kind, open-minded, and firm. Kindness will go a long way with students. If you're the type of teacher who's always yelling at them, then the students won't care about what you have to say, even if it is important. The last thing that teachers want is for a student to just shut down. Being open-minded is also a key quality to have as an educator because no two students are alike. Some students might have similar experiences as you. However, you never want to assume that you know what they're going through. Other students may be in situations that you've never experienced before. Therefore, you cannot judge them. As I've stated before, empathy is important because you have to be able to put yourself in their shoes in order to help them succeed. Lastly, being firm is crucial to the classroom. Being firm does not mean that you're just being mean and no fun. Being firm means sticking to your word, expectations, and classroom rules. Being firm and consistent will help the teacher run a smoother classroom with fewer incidences and more learning. If you teach students your expectations from the get-go and you don't give in when they're trying to test the waters, students will learn quickly to follow your expectations. And this concludes my presentation on the dispositions to teaching.